Do not stand in the headlights like a bunny. I'm being harassed to get started, so I'm going to pass on the harassing for you. It's all kind of calmer along the way, isn't it? Pay it forward. Please turn to the person next to you and say, I'm going to steal this from Michael. I'm going to stand here. You're awesome and you're doing great.
You're awesome. You're doing great. Great to see you, mate. You're awesome. You're doing great.
I love that. I heard
How are you guys?
Really loud
Nice to see you.
Okay, I'm back to my standard default energy.
Imagine after that you had a business called Learn Awesome. How are you going to follow that? Oh shit, that's awkward.
I'm going to follow the night thing.
I'm going to have a crack, and I'm going to get your feedback at the end to make sure, Sharon, that a COO, I like this. Is this you?
Overachievers. Who's still working on it? Who gave up long ago, learned helplessness on winning? So, our next session. The best of both worlds. How
Is this relevant to you?
And meaningful hybrid learning experiences. We know it's hard to make time to hold the space for real, solid, quality learning. It's a quadrant 2 activity. And we know that organisations go, oh, workshops are so effective. And then they go, oh, everybody's off the floor for a few days. Oh, e-learning.
It's my level of apathy, I think, which is super high at this time of year.
And it's not quite so interactive and engaging as it could be. So, at the risk of sounding like a Tarko commercial, what if we have
she's
both?
seen my deck. She's seen my
What
deck.
if we have a combination, a hybrid? And this is where Steve Corney comes in. So Stevie's head of transformation at Learn Awesome, offering the best of both worlds hybrid approach. Interactive, engaging, and editable learning experiences. Please welcome to the stage, Steve Corney.
Hello, folks. I've just been told, Mike's on. I've just been told that the NIDA session has been the apex predator of the day. Is that a fair call? Give it a round of applause for the NIDA cats. I'm going to have a crack at giving it a real red hot go to top it. And we're going to do it because, here's the thing. We're colleagues. I'm not here to take the high ground, and it's really important that this is not an egg-sucking fest. I'm not going to tell you how to suck eggs because you're probably smarter than me. But there's a difference between us, which is really, really important. Before I get started into the session, I want to set it up, and I want to set it up in the form of a me versus you. Now, there's a lot of you around, and it's sort of the royal you, but also you. You are really important in this, but I'm also here as well. So what I'm going to provide is ideas. I'm going to give you ideas because as an agency owner, that's my superpower. I get to do all this crazy stuff because in the spirit of agency, that's how we roll. You're going to put your context. You're going to bring that because in your worlds, this is the individual you. You have your own context. You have your own battles. You have your own challenges. This forum and this vehicle is for you to bring those, and then we put them in our container. How about this PowerPoint animation, by the way? I don't know about NIDA, but this is probably Oscar winning. And then we shake it up, and then magic happens. And a massive shout out to ChatGPT. It has become my personal trainer, my coach, my therapist, and my art department because I asked it last night, hey, make me a jacked magician pulling a cool rabbit out of the hat. That was the first crack. So not bad, huh? Not bad. So it's really important now because we're colleagues is maybe you want to listen to me, maybe you don't, maybe you're being held hostage here. If you are, please raise your hand and I will help you get out of this room. But why would you want to listen to me? Well, this is my credential. Legend in his own lunchbox. And 9 years ago, my mother said, grow up, Steve. Take that off your business card. I'm like, all right, Mum. No worries. Love you, Mum. But this is really important because that's where I sit in my world. I'm the apex predator of my lunchbox. That's about as far as it goes. And I don't profess to know the most about anything or more about anything than anyone else, but I have a unique way. And I think that's the beauty of learning design, is that we're not masters of what, why, or how. We are practitioners and masters of the way. What's the most optimal way to package content to solve a problem or realize a goal? And that means that we don't have to be subject matter experts. So I get to also tell my mother, I'm professionally ignorant, Mum. And I get paid to do it. I get paid to be stupid. But then obviously there's this stuff. So Learn Awesome has been around in some way, shape or form, not named, for at least 17 years. And it's the only thing I know how to do is be an agency. And I love it because it's perpetual startup. I was fortunate enough this year to do a TEDx talk, and I spoke about legacy, death, and tech. Interesting. Then, as an agency owner, I see myself as two of my favourite superheroes. Batman, because as an agency owner, I don't have BAU, I don't have compliance change, I don't have regulatory change to deal with, digital transformation. I'm just an agency. I get to go and learn how to play with ChatGPT, learn the latest tools, tech, tricks. So Batman is the hero for you. And then Robin Hood, Men in Tights, probably the best version of Robin Hood, unless Kevin Costner, he was pretty good too. This allows me to rob from the industry and give it back to the people. So a lot of the stuff that I do when I talk to crowds like this is I give back in the form of templates, tools, tricks, and how. I focus on giving how. Hybrid, blended, who's doing it? Who's heard of it? Who's in love with it? Like, just show of hands if you're interested in this topic. You're in the room and you're not being held hostage. So here it is. My opinion for today, please, we're colleagues, not an egg-sucking fest, but I'm going to define these as the same thing. And if you want to come and talk to me about why blended and hybrid are different, come over to the booth, I'll give you a stamp, maybe I'll let you win the prize, and we can duke it out there. But for today, we're just going to contain it in this. The last bit of context before we get started is something that I've learnt, and I've been training designers and mentoring IDs and LXDs and insert fancy titles here for a number of years, is the enough bucket. And there's two enough buckets. There's the learner's enough bucket and there's the designer's. Now, unfortunately, designers, you're apex predators. You've been working on your projects for years and years and years. You've slaved over it. You've just loved it so much that you don't know when to stop. And your enough bucket is usually 10 to 100 times bigger than the learner's. This is the learner's enough bucket. The learner might just be happy with a video and a template, but no, you guys go all in, full deep dive into a storyline, whimsical, mythical, non-accessible, variable-driven nightmare. And this is your enough bucket. And as a result, what happens is if you go your bucket first, disengagement, no connection, completion rates, e-learning sucks, all that horrible nightmare fuel that breaks your heart. But if you just went, hey, what's your enough bucket, Jimmy, the learner? You'll be a much happier designer. So there's some tips for you. Does that relate? Can anyone sort of relate to the enough bucket? I've found guilty of it so many times. My new designers, they over-design the bejeepers out of everything. Even when you just explain a concept, it's like, I had a client who had their learning coordinator explain, he spent all night building a portal for their facilitators. And he showed the boss, he's got his time with the CEO. CEO sits down, he goes, look at this, Jackie. You click here, it downloads a PDF. She's like, whoa! I whispered to him, that's enough. 30 minutes later, he took a breath, and the CEO was paralyzed. And he felt bad. The CEO was rolling around on the ground, drooling out of her eyeballs. It was brutal. And then I coached him on the enough bucket concept. Here's the paradox. There's a paradox in e-learning. And who's pure learning? Who's instructional design, learning design, insert fancy title here? Who's doing that? Who's HR? We love our titles, right? Isn't it cool? I think I'm head of transformation today. I was going to do legend in my own lunchbox. Who's people and culture? And if you HR cats, put your hands up again, that's cool. Of course, who's an apex predator? Who's running their own show? CEO, COO, upside down, Miss Pat. Yes, perfect, beautiful. So here's the paradox. You hear this. Hey, learning team, hey, HR, we need training. We need training. Yes. And you're like, yes, but we're really busy. Paradox number one. We need training, but we're really busy. And you're laughing because it's true. I know it's true. So then Steve comes along and goes, I got an idea. And it's like you're just waiting for your moment. This is my moment. What about an e-learn? Yes, I've solved the problem. It's scalable, it's efficient, it's everything. E-learning's not as engaging as face-to-face training. It's not as good. Heartbreak hotel. So then, as a result of this paradox, we need a hero. We absolutely, how good? ChatGPT is getting really good. Really good. I just typed in, make me an image, we need a hero. And it was late, so I wasn't polite. Be aware, Skynet's coming. Say please and thank you to the robots. So on your tables right now, what I want you to do is I want you to spend 30 seconds, right? And remember, we're all colleagues, so the answers are correct. Yes is the correct answer. What are the benefits, just quickly, of e-learning? Digital, online, beautiful, storyline rise. What are the benefits? Real quick, short, sharp, snappy, and I want to see if I get them right. Let's go, 30 seconds. Destination, yes, good. Oh, still mic'd up. All right, that'll do. Let's bring it back, folks. Let's bring it back. Here it is. So this is now a competition against colleagues because now I'm battling against not knowing what you're talking about. And last night, this is why you don't walk around. You shouldn't do it. But it's all right. I didn't break it. I was just trying to be the super e-learn. How did I go? Scalable? Hands up if I get it. Scalable, hands down, beautiful. Efficient? Hell yeah. But it's like I'm a Karate Kid, right? Where Daniel sees Miyagi do the crane technique and he's like, what was that, Mr. Miyagi? He goes, crane technique. If done well, no can defend. Same with e-learning. If you do it well, it's freaking awesome. But we're dealing with being 5 steps behind the 8 ball, folks, because people have been used and abused by bad e-learning, lazy design, too much enough bucket from the designers, that we've now got to change the language to like digital experience. And start sneaking in there because digital transformation, digital experience, customer experience, hey, there's lots of funding there. Beautiful. Flexible? Flexibility? Yep, maybe. Convenient? Depends, unless you're a nice enough bucket designer. Consistent? So consistency is massive. Did anyone get consistency? Or did I pull that myself? It's consistent because when you run it on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday afternoon, the message is consistent because the content stays in the same container. Accessible? Very, very important, very topical. I've said WCAG 2.0 today a few times and some people have blanked me and I'm like, whew, am I at the Learning and Development Summit? Did I wake up in the Change Management Summit, Tanzel? Like maybe I transported somewhere else and we forgot what accessibility was, but it's super, super important. And then affordable. Did I miss anything? Shout it out if I missed anything. What do we got? Data analytics. Oh yeah, the data. Perfect. I'm not a data person. I did the brain test and I'm not data. I'm anti-data, but correct?
Feeling safe.
Feeling
the space is too confronting.
Yeah, absolutely. Creates a little safe bubble to put your headphones in and just like dive in. Absolutely. Anything else?
You can dial up and down.
Dial up and down. Yeah, absolutely. So you can jump in and out. You can dial up and down the intensity. Absolutely. Beautiful. What about face to face? 30 seconds. Let's go. So talk about the contrast. Did you say? Are you guys face to face training company down here? Gotta fix my. Oh, it's the time. Oh, nice. Direct. Spontaneous. Good. Thanks. Look at this. Taking notes.
There we are.
Crushing it. All right, reel it in. Captain Face to Face is here, coming at you. Let's see how we went. Connection? Oh, that's a bit touchy-feely. Where are the HR cats? That's totally touchy. That's right up your alley, right? But this is one of the highlights of Face to Face. You get to connect. You get engagement. You get collaboration. You get networking. Underrated thing of face-to-face training. You get to hang out with the boss. You get to hang out with other departments. Community. You get access to feeling part of a community. And we go back to there. That's all I got. What else did we get? What else did you guys have? Adaptability. Nice. Yeah, so double-edged sword, right? Because if your aim is consistency, and then you adapt every Monday, so Monday is different to Tuesday, different to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, different messaging, but absolutely a benefit of face-to-face is that you can feel the room and read it. Yeah? You guys are being very supportive of me too. I really appreciate it. Paige. Real-time feedback, yeah, nice, absolutely. And even the beautiful data that says I clicked on this button at 2:57 a.m. and I was supposed to be not working, but whatever, I'm desperate to impress my boss. Yeah, direct feedback. You can see Steve's fallen asleep at his desk, he's drooling, it's over. Great one.
Real-time challenge if you feel you can get more thought.
Yeah, nice. You can absolutely unpack it. You can dive deep if you need to. You can, and again, so it's sort of like jump in, jump out, scale up, scale down. That's the skill of the facilitator though. And anyone that says that facilitation is easy, incorrect. Because we've all been used and abused by not great facilitators. Yeah.
You learn on multiple levels. Energetic.
Yep.
mental, emotional.
Yeah, and to your point before, it's not necessarily a safe space for everyone. People don't necessarily feel comfortable. So again, the job of the facilitator, a good one, is to make that environment, that container super safe, but you get that different multimodal sensory experience. Beautiful. Well done, team. And if I missed anything, come and see me at the end. So we need a hero. And there it is, the hybrid, standing on the earth, looking down and going, here I am, I'm here, the perfect recipe. So where does hybrid fit into the learning verse? I think that's really the question that we're here to think about. And I have an answer, but it's my opinion. So because it's my opinion, it's okay to share. And if you disagree with it, cool. Let's have a chat about it out there in the bullpen when we break. But this is what I think. I think face-to-face training should just become hybrid, because you get so many of the benefits from the digital world. You can just literally bolt them in, start and finish, or bookend your face-to-face live experiences and get the best of both worlds. That's my opinion. But usually, look at this thing. Oof, jeepers. It was getting tired. This was the last image I created last night. It was about 3 a.m. and ChatGPT is sweating. It's like, Steve, I can't be your graphic designer anymore. I'm getting tired. Learners are busy, and the need for connection and collaboration, they're the scales of justice in this sense for our superheroes, right? And when you hear that we're busy, but we need connection, previously you're like, shit, I got nothing. Because you've just trashed e-learning and you want face-to-face, but it's not scalable, it's expensive. What if we do both? And there, my old El Paso little girl off the commercials, I recommend you dive into YouTube and watch those again, because it's just so innocent and beautiful. What if we had both? And that's what it does. So now what I'd like to do is, part of my commitment to how is to give you the use cases that we've seen. So just fun fact, like we've built over 100 e-learns this year. We've done over 1,000 hours of digital experience creation. We're in there. We're in the trenches. We're doing the work in a whole variety of industries. So I don't want to tell you it, and probably you're just going to nod like this because you're like, wow, that's cute, Steve. I've got 3 actual demos that I built last night to show you as well. So I'll show you an actual end-to-end solution. But relevant and really important, enough theory, because I've received, I mean, has anyone done the Australian Institute of Company Directors course? Yeah? How about that for enough? Hey, here's every single case study in corporate law that you could possibly imagine. See you in 6 weeks and we'll test you on it. Is it hybrid learning though? Yes, it is. Does it work? Maybe. But you're also, I think the other thing to think about, folks, is stick versus carrot. If you're going to the company director's course, you're motivated to learn, which means I could sit and watch a monotone 7-hour YouTube video and I'll eat it up with a spoon. However, if I'm being coerced out of fear of losing my job, there is no amount of lipstick you can put on that pig, I'm out. And that's where we have to recognize it and check our ego at the door, because it's the enough bucket coming back. If we don't just accept that compliance needs to be frictionless and respectful, we'll get a long way, and we'll do a lot of repair to the rep that e-learning's got. So there it is, before a practical session. That's bread and butter 101. Unis are doing it. The UNSW crew are here. Fantastic to hear that they're kicking RMIT's butt down in Vic on their HR degree that's gone online. Congratulations, amazing effort. But you do even your MBAs. You go and do your study online, and then you rock up for an immersion. Perfect symphony of theory and prac. What about pre-onboarding context online prior to a face-to-face induction? So pre-onboarding, the part where they've signed the contract and they just haven't started yet, that is ripe for just giving them content to consume. They want to do it. We do a lot of work in the online induction space and the pre-induction. So you could do that. What about, I was having lunch with the head of learning for the CSIRO, and she talked about like just priming someone with a TED talk or priming someone with a 1-page article, not a 360-page PDF, not a research paper. Be kind. TED talk or an article to read prior to attending even a meeting. Now a meeting could become a hybrid learning experience or a workshop. What about read the policy, get assessed on it? Ooh, here we go, multi-layer. Read the policy, get assessed, then attend an in-person session where you're unpacking the case study. That's a really great use of compliance, especially in the banking and finance world. Best interest duty, do that. What about diversity and inclusion? Unconscious bias, learn the theory of unconscious bias, then attend a workshop that emphasizes, the collaboration of the group and help them sort of see their unconscious bias or biases. Fundamentals of coding, so Pluralsight is a fantastic place to do that, a bit like LinkedIn Learning and Udemy and Go1 and all those cats. You go and do the theory and I'm motivated to do it, and then I come and do a hackathon. You put on an event to reinforce my knowledge, that blended, beautiful hybrid world. See how I use both terms and no one's got the pitchforks out? Cool. No egg sucking, remember. What about this? Live workshop or session followed by online assessment or post-work or a community collaboration. So you can put communities digital, workplace, by Facebook, Slack, all of those sort of intranet type sites. You can have that as part of your learning experience where you can bridge the gap between, hey, you're international, you're interstate. Let's create the community that we could try and do face-to-face, but we don't have the budget. We can get most of the way there with a really well curated community. But how do you create a connected and meaningful experience? Because it's time for bloody examples, folks. It's about time. I put Learn Awesome's abilities where our mouth's at. Jackie Scammell is the CEO and founder of Service Q. She is a phenomenal thought leader in creating service culture. We are so lucky to have her that she trusted us to take her book, 21 Service Habits, and build micro-learns so that she would have, there's another trauma-inducing word, micro-learns. Ooh, jeepers. That's another place where we've overused our enough bucket. We've built 21 micro-learns so that she had something to offer instead of high-touch consulting. But what we also did was we revamped their entire workshop model so that these micro-learns were used as pre-learns to prime, and then as you'll see in a second, actually give something that gives connection and meaning. So I'm just gonna, this is a screen record. I didn't put the time last night because you'd be very scared about what time it was. And so for me, this is just you getting to see what this experience is like. Fun fact, this is built on Chameleon Creator, and if anyone scans their thing, Chameleon's a New Zealand authoring tool that just puts Rise and Storyline to bed. We're giving away a license, so if you come over to our booth, you can get a 12-month license valued at $2,000. Chameleon are fantastic, and you just see the flexibility and the beauty that is this rapid authoring tool. So you can sort of see that we're embedding the knowledge. We've got a journal prompt. Anyone that builds on Storyline knows that text entry variables will take your soul and a weekend, and you'll get nothing for it. But this is out of the box with Chameleon. Now we've got some reflection. So we've just gone sort of through the process and we're just reinforcing this content, which is really nice. And their branding's beautiful. It's so nice to work with people who've got great branding. I mean, the NIDA cats, their branding is like on point. Now, here's really important. What can you do back at work? Write down 5 rockstar questions, but it doesn't stop there. We actually generate with the text variables a PDF that summarizes this into a one-pager. They can download it, and then the instruction for the face-to-face immersion is bring this with you. So that, to me, is connected because I'm not just doing it to suck eggs. I'm not just doing it because I'm scared to lose my job if I don't get the data tracked. This allows me to physically feel like I've done this, now I can participate in the workshop. Cool, huh? Cool, nice. So here it is. Why don't we have both? And what we're talking about here is this bridge. Who does workshops either inside your company or as part of your offering as a vendor that then runs live workshops? Who has to get learners to book into stuff? Hands up if you have to get them to book into a live session. Yep, it's either maybe you do it or you coordinate it. But where hybrid or blended can work really well is what if you could pre-assess their knowledge, so you do a pre-assessment. Until they get the assessment correct, they can't book into a workshop. What if you could also book into the workshop inside the learning module that lives on your LMS? All conceptual right now, but I've got a demo. After that, once they've booked in, goes into their calendar, they get reminders, and then they start doing pre-work in the same module. Once they do the live immersion, they go back into that same module and they do the post-work assessment. This is what this demo is. And I love the old Opaso chick. She's responsible for more innovation at Learn Awesome than anything else because she's just so simple. Here it is. So this is just a quiz. So I want you to think about your context because if you're clever, which you are, clever cats, you're probably thinking, are you telling me I can do pre-assessment that's branched in Chameleon out of the box? Yes. So you can see here, I got something wrong. I've gone to learn the content. I was tired, so I didn't build the content. I want to learn more about question 3. I've gone and learnt about question 3. I come back. Then I'm going to retry the assessment. Hooray. I had to put those in because I wasn't actually sure of what the correct answers were and I was fading really fast. ChatGPT was no help. So I put correct in brackets just so I knew that I could speed run this. Again, the joys of having the keys to the city. Now I've got all it right. Now my workshop opens up. Now booking my live workshop. I've just added code in here, which is Calendly. So here's my calendar. Oh, I've heard some people go, whoa, that's cool. Yes, it is. So I book, it's scheduled, I put my name, I put my email address in. Feel free to email me because you're going to see it, but I've got nothing to hide. I'd love the chance to have a chat. Schedule the event, boom. Simultaneously in my calendar invite, I get a reminder 1 day, 1 hour before that starts. Cool, huh? Now I can go into the pre-work because that unlocks the pre-work, and I can do some pre-work. Learn this topic, do some video, do some accordions. Don't do that drag and drop activity. It's not accessible. Save your learners' souls, please. And then after it's finished, I can come back to the same module and do the post-work. Now, because of data, you had that great point about data, sir. This is all tracked and measured on the LMS. So you can report who's done what, you can block things, you can control things, and then you can measure who's gone through the program, who's then able to do the post-work. You can unlock a module after the post-work's been, or after the live workshop's been done. Some really, really cool stuff. All right, last example. And you get all these, right? So part of my commitment to being Batman and Robin Hood fused together is that at the end, scan the QR code, I'll send you a link with all these preview links so that you can take them back to your place of work, not this cognitively overloaded world of conference life, and actually play with it in your own time and then use it to get some great ideas and some business cases. So we've got pre-learning on goal setting. Anyone have to teach goal setting as a soft skill? Super important, goal setting, soft skills, leadership, all that sort of stuff. Then there's a reflection. The goal setting piece, they actually set their goal set their goals, they print it out, they bring it to the workshop, or they take it to a meeting with their boss. Here we go. And if anyone's curious what Learn Awesome's brand and style is, this is us. And oh yeah, Google likes to put my credit card into everything. So again, nice little backdoor for the L&D teams. You can obviously sneak in a few little $50 notes for yourself. But there, look at those flip cards compared to the Rise Who Shall Not Be Named. But this is now teaching the concept of SMART goals, and then 30, 60, 90, and the rest. And I'm speed running through this, obviously, but you'll get this and you'll get to be able to go through and experience it. But now I've got the text entry variable, so I'm going to set my goals for 30, 60, 90, math. See? Math and data doesn't work for me. I was good for the first three. But obviously I'm just going through this, and hopefully what you're seeing is this is pretty low cognitive load. Like I'm pretty chill, happy. And would it be fair to say that you're not really like shocked by this? It's not like, oh, vomit inducing, how many variable state changes do I have to do? This is very simple. This took me like 30 minutes to build after I had the idea. So now I'm going to review my goals. Text entry gets pushed in here, 30, 60, 90, something else, math. And then here's the PDF that I can then print off. Right? I'm hearing some feedback. I'm hearing some like, oh, that's pretty cool. Then I can download it. But wait, there's still more. Obviously, there's a PDF there, which is great, but oh shit, boss, I forgot, I mucked up my goals. I need to fix them. Can you help me? And most of the time, if it was a storyline, absolutely not. You cannot be helped. Save yourself, get out of here before you still can. No, we just click go edit, change the text entry variable. This would give me anxiety 15 years ago doing storyline, like I would have passed out by now. And I'd be worrying about how the state changes have to be reset, blah, blah, blah. But then I've done that, continue. There it's been changed, happy days. You know, we got out of there, which is beautiful. So there's another really great example of how that can be all tied together. So with 4 minutes to go, I want to try and have time for some questions and some observations if I can. But what makes hybrid connected and meaningful? And I think it's this, and I think ChatGPT got super tired here as well. Look at that. I said, make me a chain with jacked arms and like a friendly face. This guy's not friendly. He's holding the weight of the world together with the links. But I think what's important here is that there needs to be strong links between the online and the face-to-face world. It's not an excuse to just do what we did pre-COVID and then into COVID, which was e-learning is a dumpster fire that we can just throw bulk content on, and it's okay because there's no other option right now. Now, it's like, stop trashing my soul. Please, boss. Please, learning development team. So, make it relevant. You saw the goal setting example. It's relevant. It's connected because I'm working on acquiring knowledge. I'm doing a reflection. I'm getting a document. It's meaningful to my world. I can't even get in the door. And I think that's another point, is you need to hold people account. If you haven't done the learning, you can't attend the workshop. Because then, they attend the workshop, they respect the process, they get the results, they go away, they do their assessment, and they're happy days. I think too, is meaning can be super subjective to the learning world, right? And your learners are the ones that need to have the meaning. It doesn't matter what it means to you, it matters what it means to your learners. So, being able to understand that if you plan your goals in the pre-learn, you're going to get more out of the workshop or the meeting with me than you would if you didn't. And then you have some good news stories, and then obviously like you're going to go to the change management stuff next door tomorrow, right? And then the changes will come in. All hail the changes, the ProSci's, love them, and thank you for paving the way for us to do our great work as learning and development. They would come in and go, let's run an engagement session. Let's do some engagement workshops. And that works really well as well. And because the meaning's there, there's going to be buy-in, and buy-in leads to behaviour change. Behaviour change leads to more funding for L&D, which is great, which is super great. So where does it all fit in? I see that e-learning is it's not going to go anywhere because, as I've shown you, you can make some very beautiful, very sexy, very relevant, memorable and engaging digital experiences standalone. So you can keep them standalone. Let them out there. Because they're scalable, because they're efficient, you could set a baseline foundation knowledge across the company with one e-learn. You don't have to run workshops, you don't have to do anything special. But then, I'm suggesting that face-to-face becomes hybrid by default. So you bolt something on at the start, you bolt something on at the end to get the data and to then give space for the magic that happens in the room. Because no matter what the tech does, and I hang around with the tech, I put the Apple goggles on the other day, I finally feared for my 5-year-old niece's life when she grows up because Ready Player One's coming. It's the first time in a long time, but you're still not going to be able to replicate face-to-face feels. The power that's in the room, the power of facilitation. That connection, that community. And so because of that, wouldn't it be great if you just had more time to do the cool, meaningful shit and go deep and really like transform in there, do the deep work. Using e-learning, using digital stuff like this gives you the ability. So hybrid should be default. And then I just thought about it before I went to bed and I'm like, oh yeah, finally I'm going to turn off, and then I didn't. Story of agency life, that's a story for another day. Single topic area versus whole program. Now, digital transformation, that's big. Who's gone through one? Digital trans. Anyone going through one right now? We're getting tired, I can feel it. It's all right, it's almost over. 23 seconds, in fact. Don't worry, Steph. I promised Steph that I'll finish on the dot. I see this as being massive because you could do e-learning for some, you could do face-to-face for others, you could do hybrid for others, you could have a single topic that's digital, you could have a single topic that's hybrid, you could have a whole program that's got bits of everything, and then by default that whole thing becomes hybrid. So you don't have to think and narrow yourself to just seeing it's only just one or the other. You can inject it in any way, shape or form. So I'll take some questions, and I'd love you to scan that, because what will happen is you'll fill out a little form, you'll give just some feedback. I'd love your insight onto that. Obviously, you know, there's been some fantastic presentations today. I have a very certain style. My mum says I'm special. I agree with her. But I'd love to know what resonated for you, what didn't, and if you could do me that solid, that would be really helpful, and I'll stamp anything that you want out at the booth, right, so that you get the maximum chance of winning. If you want the slides, the links, all those preview links, and Chameleon are kicking in a 14-day free trial so that you can just try to escape from the shackles of Rise and Storyline if you want. That's cool. But any questions? Anyone got anything that they want to ask, or any comments or queries? Steph, we got like a couple of minutes? No. Yeah, beautiful. No! Come up here, boss. Step into my office.
30 seconds, I reckon we can manage one question.
One's all we need.
So mean,
I love it. I love the rule with an iron fist. You're like the Margaret Thatcher, the Margaret Thatcher of facilitators and MCs.
I'll be the joker. Any questions?
Come and see me at the booth, folks. Like, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Appreciate you taking the time, and all hail the HRD world. Thank you for putting on a great conference, Steph. Thank you, folks. There you go. That's for you.
All right, I love that. That was my level of energy, I reckon.
How'd I go, coaches?
Next.
Great job.
Thanks, Jeff.
Back up on the stage. Oh, it's getting harder after lunch.
Excuse me. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
I actually thought Steve was planning to deliberately go over when he picked the TV down in your...
Sorry about the TV. Yeah, it works a treat. I was just testing it.
Alrighty.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming. Really appreciate you.